Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Vivek Bharata. In this video, we are diving into a fascinating topic in software development, that is microservices architecture. Whether you are a developer, architect, or just curious about the modern tech, this video will give you an understanding of microservices and their benefits. So, what exactly is microservices architecture? In simple terms, it's an architectural style, the structures and application with a collection of small, independent services. Each service focuses on a specific business capability and communicates with others with well defined APIs. To grasp microservices, let's compare that with a traditional monolithic application. So here if you can see, it's an e-commerce site where we have modules like user, product, order, auth, payment and notification. If you can see here, this is like a one big application and we are maintaining one specific database. As the application grows, more and more modules will be added and it's kind of a tightly coupled and it will be very hard to maintain. So in this monolith, an entire application is built as single indivisible unit. This means that all components, business logic and database are tightly coupled. This can make scaling and updating a challenge. Now moving on to the microservices architecture, the same modules will be splitted as a separate services. If you can see here, we have auth, user, product, order, payment, and notification. Each microservice has its own dedicated database and will be having a centralized API gateway. And the communication between microservices can happen via REST or event system and also gRPC. Each communication mode has its own trade-offs we'll cover in the later videos. With microservices, each service can be developed, deployed, and scaled independently. This independence enhances flexibility and agility. Now let's break down some key characteristics of microservices. Each microservice should have a single responsibility and it should do well. And this auth microservice will make sure authentication and authorization is intact across the whole application. Similarly for the orders and payments. So if you, as an example, if you see this notifications microservice, the sole responsibility is to send the notifications, whether it's an email, SMS, or push notification. So this behavior is like single responsibility. Next, decentralized data management. Each service can manage its own database, avoiding tight coupling. And third one, technology agnostic, meaning different microservices can be built using different programming languages and technologies. Like let's say, in this case, payment and notification can be in Node.js, ordering can be in Go. It depends on the business case. You can change the technology and programming language. That's the flexibility we can have with microservices. And next is scalability. Individual services can be scaled independently, making it easier to manage load. As an example, during festival season, order, payment, and notification can be at very high load. So in that cases, usually let's say users, all the microservices are scaled at 3 instances. As due to the heavy load, we can prepare or make it auto scaling in a way that only orders, payment, and notification service can be scaled to 10 to 15 based on the load. Now that we understand what microservices are, let's talk about their benefits. First one, improved scalability. As I said, you can scale specific services based on demand rather than scaling the entire application. Next, faster time to market. Like teams can work on different services simultaneously, speeding up the development. Next up, better fault isolation. If one service fails, it doesn't take down the entire application, enhancing resilience. For example, if notification service is down, the rest of the services won't have any effect due to this, though there will be notifications missing and that can be again be resumed from the event system. Next up, technology diversity, which is similar again as discussed. Teams can choose the best tools for the specific service. Continuous deployment. Microservices support DevOps practices, allowing frequent updates without major downtime. With benefits come challenges. Here are the main challenges of microservices, that is complexity. Yes, you heard it right. Managing multiple services can become complex, requiring robust orchestration. Next, data consistency. With decentralized databases, maintaining consistency across services can be tricky, and more often you end up having duplicate metadata. Next up, inter-service communication. More services mean more communication, which can lead to latency and overhead. And last one, deployment overhead. Deploying multiple services can be more cumbersome, especially at a very big releases where it can involve multiple microservices. Like during big deployment features, there could be multiple services being involved to deploy, and we should make sure that all services has been deployed properly with the correct versions. If you're considering implementing microservices, here are the best practices we should follow. First one, start small. Begin with a very few services and gradually expand. And in fact, I would suggest to make it as a monolith at the very early stage of the startup and slowly evolve into a microservices. Next, Define clear boundaries. Ensure each service has a well-defined purpose and APIs. Next, better communication across different microservices. These services can follow standards like REST APIs, event systems, and gRPC, etc. Fourth, automate deployment. Use CI/CD pipelines to streamline deployments for microservices. Monitor and logging. Implement comprehensive monitoring and logging to quickly identify issues. Example, adding correlation ID across microservices, distributed tracing, etc. Last one, focus on security. Ensure that each service is secure, particularly around API access. In summary, microservices offers flexible and scalable approach to building applications, but it also comes with its own set of challenges. By understanding both advantages and pitfalls, you can make informed decisions about whether this architecture is right for your project. Give it a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Subscribe for more content like this, and let me know in the comments your thoughts on microservices. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.